guys? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day today, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I am glad you are here. If you get a chance and are so inclined, please hit the subscribe button below. I love it if you hit the bell notification icon and check out when I upload new videos and I go live. So today I wanted to talk about the largest knife in my collection. And this is a knife that had been on my radar for quite a while. I actually had picked up a cold steel 4 Max, the one in the Grivery and the Austin, what is it, the 4 Max Light? I think I'm saying that wrong. But I had that particular knife, which is the same size, and I absolutely loved it. Even though I didn't carry it that much, it went on camping trips with me. It stayed in my bug out bag, my bigger bug out bag, and it was just kind of my carry go all knife. I've got a sheath that came with a different knife on my big bug out bag that rides on the strap, and the 4 Max actually goes in that particular sheath because it is a heavy knife. The weight of this is heavy. I don't know what else to tell you. It's just a heavy knife. But the Cold Steel 4 Max, let me see if I can open it under the camera without breaking something, is a full-sized pocket knife. I'm not going to say it's the largest cold steel because cold steel makes a lot of really large knives, but it is definitely my largest folding knife. When we talk about full-size knives, the Cold Steel 4 Max, let me grab my Ben Banter's titanium ruler, has a 4-inch blade. It has a nearly 6-inch handle, guys, over 5 3/4 inch handle. We'll just call it 6 inches. My little Ben Peterson NAF Company ruler is not long enough to, we can do it as a size comparison because I've got a few other size comparisons. But anyways, the Cold Steel 4 Max, believe it or not, fits my hand fantastically. Again, a big knife that does have, in this particular version, this is the S35 VN, made in Taiwan. The reason I picked this knife up is it was on a fantastic deal when Midway was getting rid of some of their cold steels. I think you can still get this knife at midway.com for under $200, and it's originally, if I'm not mistaken, right around a $350, $360 knife. G10 handles with S35 VN blade steel. You can see that it's got a little bit of finger, what would I call that, predetermination of where you're going to put your grip. But I find that my grip fits perfectly there. When I utilize the choil, it moves it up, makes it a little bit, for my hand, which is kind of medium large size, I can feel it, but it doesn't create a hot spot. And this is how I actually grip this knife, because unless I'm chopping, which I have chopped and feather sticked with this knife, I hold it in its full handle. If not, 99% of the time, I'm choked up on it. But again, it's just a hoss of a knife. Let me take my Ben Peterson ruler that I can't read, and it is a 1/2 inch thick, blade stock. I'm not even going to get the calipers because it's 1/4 inch blade stock, roughly, close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades. But just a really big hoss of a knife, and I love it. It's a knife that will stay in my collection. It's a knife that, believe it or not, is very fidgety. If you keep your finger, which you want to, up here towards the front of that choil when you release the triad lock, it drops. So it is, let's see if I can reverse finger flick it. No, I don't quite have the strength to reverse finger flick it, but it can either slow roll out. Look at that lock. or flip out with those thumb studs. And it does utilize probably one of the strongest locking systems known to man, the triad lock. And look at the stop pin on that. I'm going to say that's a 1/4 inch diameter stock pin at least. And again, it just really a cool knife. This little thing right here I learned through reading some different blogs. This was originally made when they made the first cold steel 4-max. Les Thompson was going to take it and use it on some particular trip, and Andrew put that particular hole in his specimen so that they could run a pin through there to give it additional lockup to make it more fit like a fixed blade. Again, it's just for show now, and it just, again, is a testament to the absolute heft of this knife. Believe it or not, this pocket clip works very well. It does not give a hot spot on this big G10 handle. And the way I look at it, if I put it in my pocket, it slides in and out of pocket. And even though it weighs quite a bit, it does not carry as large as it seems. So let's open it up, if I can do it without knocking my camera off the tripod. And let's do a couple of size comparisons so you can get an idea, if you haven't held one of these, the heft of this knife. We'll compare it to a couple of cold steel knives, the 8010 and the 8015. You can see it's a good bit bigger than the 8015, a good bit bigger than the 8010. And then I'll compare it to a couple of the larger knives in my collection that are not cold steels. One of them is our buddy Lee at Love Them Knives Vandal, which, if you guys have experienced a Vandal, it is quite a large button lock from Tucson. Super great design, super great knife. But it is also a good bit smaller than the cold steel 4-max. And then you all have seen the TS346, maybe on the channel, maybe not, but it is a hoss of a Tucson. I give this thing rave reviews if you're looking for a bigger knife for under $100. What a great knife this is, the TS346, but again, it is dwarfed by the 4-max. So the 4-max is a big knife, and when I say full-size big, it is full-size big. So I had a couple of full-size knives that I figured we could look at and compare it to in size. One of them that I think everybody's probably familiar with is the SE3. This is actually the S35VN version of the SE3. I got it for more of an EDC when I was trying to first think about carrying an EDC fixed blade. And I actually did not carry that very much. I carry it when I go camping. It's a little bit smaller or larger than I would like for an EDC knife, but it's just a great knife. And then another camp knife that I picked up was this Lion steel, because of the blade steel, Slickner steel, to try it out. This, if I'm not mistaken, is the M3. It is again, a bigger knife. Let's look at the blade length on this. I want to say it's 4.5 inches, where the SE is right under 4 inches. But even these two fixed blades, which this is the largest fixed blade before you get into kukris and machetes in my collection, and the 4-max is indeed larger than them, which is just a testament to a cool design, a cool folder that, again, when I fold that knife up, it takes up half the size. So it is, to me, kind of a marvel in what it was designed to do, which I guess is to be the biggest overbuilt knife in my collection. I won't say in existence because it's not the largest folding knife in existence, but that's the Cold Steel 4max, guys. It's a knife that I urge you guys to check out if you're looking for a big overbuilt knife, or the 4max Lite. It's not called the 4max Lite, but it's got an FRN handles, and it's a good bit less. You can find it for under $150 at a lot of places, and you can see if the size of that knife is something that you would be interested in carrying. Again, when it's folded up, it's a good bit smaller. But again, Cold Steel 4max, the biggest knife in my collection. I'm glad that you guys stopped by. If you stayed this long, I appreciate you more than you know. Anytime you stop by and watch my videos, I consider that a privilege, and I'm very gracious and humbled by it. And if you are still watching and you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to subscribe. It helps me with, I guess, other people seeing the videos. But the one thing that I always ask is to please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right, and just look out for one another. It's a community that we all hold dear, and we all have different opinions. We don't always agree. So when you disagree with someone, reach out to them, talk about what your disagreement is or your different opinions, and try to understand that person. It's a great way to learn. And the basic idea of that, and I apologize for actually shaking, but choose debate over hate. I love you all. Appreciate you stopping by. Peace.